time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
It's time. We're live, BSing with the Guys. Main one tonight I want to get into, of course, is that crazy shit that happened in Minneapolis today. A 37-year-old citizen tragically shot, killed by ICE agent. Of course, the big argument is the justification behind it.
Right.
I don't know. Did you have a chance to watch the video at all?
I did. I was trying not to. I was trying to wait for the night, but I just couldn't.
No, I hear you. Well, let's pull it up while we're talking and just check it out. I mean, I can only play so much of it because YouTube is full of those type of people that'll pull the stream down. But
yep.
I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. If not, but there's just kind of a little slow motion of exactly what went on and how it happened. I mean, you see, she was going forward in the car. Now, I don't know if you studied it enough to make any kind of, rational decision on if you think his life was honestly in jeopardy over that,
Well, I think 10 times out of 10 that you drive a car at a cop, you're going to get shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me watching it, it looked like, I don't think she was directly trying to hit the guy. I know they were trying to pull her out of the car right before it got to that point of the video. They were trying to get her out of the car. Apparently she was blocking the road or something. And some people are painting her as just an agitator, that was there but purposely just to stir up shit. Now,
Right.
Doesn't warranty a death penalty by any means. I mean, no matter how you look at it, a life was lost. And I don't know if they're going to be able to justify that one just simply because it looks like she was trying to turn her wheel and go to the right. You know what I mean? To get away from the officer. Now, he was standing in front of the car telling her to stop.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, like, I've seen multiple police chases and shit that'll end with a cop in front of the car pointing a gun.
Sure.
And the driver lurches forward, and that's considered your car's a deadly weapon at that point,
And it is. I mean, your car is definitely a deadly weapon. It's just being able to make these types of decisions on the fly, I guess, is what these guys are supposed to be trained for. Now, just from the videos that you're watching, it doesn't look like she was much of a threat. 37-year-old lady in her car trying to just get away. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form justifying what she did, but I also don't want to just blindly justify what the agent did either, because there's a lot of investigations that need to be done.
Killed by people just trying to get away. I mean,
true.
You see it all the time.
They
run
do.
down
they
people.
do.
People get run over.
Yeah.
They smoke a family in another car, and I mean, people get killed by people just trying to get away all the time. You can't just drive cars at people.
That's a good point. You're right. I mean, she's trying to get away. There's no telling what happens after that fact. Had they started chasing her, how many other lives would have been in danger? So, yeah, it's a very good point because you see it all the time. I mean, the cop either gets drugged down the road or, innocent bystanders get run over or cars run into, like you said. I mean, it could turn into a very bad situation just trying to run from the police to begin with. So you could always start there and just not do that. And it would prevent a lot of that, especially what went on today. Now, I mean, you think the guys, they're going to let that officer walk on that one?
I think they are. I didn't like the later shots. I think the first shot that rang out was justified. There was a car coming at him actively, but I think the second two shots were a little late, and because she had already kind of passed him with, her tires in the front quarter of the car and was going around him by the time the second two shots rang out. But you also see it in self-defense shootings where it's just a quick pop, pop, pop of shots, and all the shots are justified unless one is just super, super, super late,
Sure.
So I think he'll walk on it. I don't think they'll do much to him.
Well, I forgot about what you just brought up, that there wasn't just the one shot. Because now that you say it, I remember watching the rest of the video, and she was kind of pulling off. He was no longer in danger, and he popped off a couple more rounds. Now, with that being said, I guess they're trained to stop whatever they perceive as a threat, even to the general public or to other officers that are around. So once in the officer's mind that he deemed you to be that much of a threat, then the mission turns into stop this threat.
Yep.
I think that's just what they're trained to do. So it's
Absolutely.
not pop one round off, and when the car's still moving and you're not sure if you've eliminated a threat, you don't put your weapon back in your holster. You're trained to neutralize a threat. It just sucks that it had to be this unarmed 37-year-old lady that it happened to.
Well, she was armed with a vehicle.
Well, okay, you're right. You're right. I know they like, and you're right. I'm sounding like the left wing media because they like to use that term because you don't have a firearm that you're unarmed. But you are right. A vehicle can do just as much damage, if not more. I mean, it's
we saw that last New Year's.
Yeah,
on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, that's
he was armed with both, and he used the vehicle.
No, that's a damn good point, because I threw out that term too, because I've been noticing that's what the media is running with. That's what the left is going with right now, that he killed an unarmed, quote, young lady. And I'm with you. A vehicle you're armed and dangerous. When you take off in a vehicle and somebody's standing in front of it, that's pretty dangerous.
It really is. It really is. Now, if they were wrestling on the ground, it'd be a different story, but they weren't. So
yeah. And of course, the question goes, should ICE have even been there is, of course, what this turns into. That had they not even been there doing what they were doing, which was a major immigration enforcement operation, none of this would have been able to happen. So there's also that argument that this is what happens when you start sending the feds or the government in to do state and local jobs. So there's also that argument. But, the bigger thing I wanted to really get to is this isn't just isolated. For years, certain politicians and activists, they demonize the certain groups, like whether it be police, these ICE agents, federal officers in general, calling them oppressors and murderers and just tools of some fascist regime. So you start getting that into people's head that all these people are horrible, they're evil, they're the big term everybody likes to use, Nazis. So what that does is it ignites fire in some people that feel like they have to get out there and do something now because they're being fed this by politicians. And, the politicians like to twist narratives. They like to stoke the outrage to score some political points. But what happens is things like this. And the same thing seemed to have happened to Ashley Babbitt back on January 6th. That was celebrated by the left, which we're not going to sit here and do on this program, is celebrate that woman that lost her life today. But those disgusting animals to this day still celebrate that somebody got so fired up by political rhetoric that they lost their life. Right. So I guess the point I'm getting at is that people have to stop taking it that serious, because the politicians aren't going to stop doing it. But and the politicians don't give a fuck. They're going to sleep fine tonight. If somebody loses their life, the only ones suffering now are the friends and family of this person. The politicians that ignited this fire in this girl don't give a fuck that she lost her life.
No, so, they're sitting back and trying to figure out how to make it a good thing for their side.
Yeah, and right, exactly. And all you're doing is, as a citizen, you're out there fighting a war for people that don't give a fuck about you. And people are losing their lives over this shit. Like I said, fighting for some politician that's out there telling you what you need to be upset about. And now this lady's not going home.
Right.
And like I said, same thing with Ashley Babbitt. And that's just the two that come to mind. But there's been more. People get so fired up with these politics that they feel like they need to be out there fighting the oppressor, because that's what one side is labeling somebody. And it's none of it's that serious, because it didn't change a fucking thing. You didn't stop what was going on. It's not like ICE said, well, fuck it, we're just gonna stop picking up illegal, immigrants. We're gonna stop now because this
Operation's
woman
done
was
for the day.
right. And you solve nothing at all. You're just a pawn being used by these politicians. And the more people that will wake up to that, this kind of nonsense would stop, man. It's just
Right,
not
because the
worth it.
politicians aren't out there protesting with
The
you.
fuck no. Hell no. They never are. They never are. They're sitting up there behind a TV screen telling you what to be pissed off about. And none of them have an ounce of shame about it. They want to act like it now. Every Democratic leader's coming out, basically blasting what happened today. And I get it. It's a tragedy. It needs to be blasted at some extent, but let's put the blame where it belongs, not just, on one certain aspect of it. Let's pass it around because there's plenty of it to go around. For one, the girl wasn't innocent herself. She was out there doing whatever she was doing. You're being told to stop. You're being told to get out of your vehicle by a federal agent, and you ignore that and decide to drive off when one's standing in front of your car. That could have been prevented right there. Whether you look at this like he was justified in shooting her or not, it could have been prevented from the very first second where you just don't get in your fucking car and try to take off when there's an officer standing in front of it. It seems simple.
It seems very simple. You handle it in court, and I mean, it is what it is, As far as, like you said, whether you agree with what he was doing or not, it's like you could be handling it in court and still be alive, or you can say, fuck that, he's wrong, and I'm going to do what I want and get shot.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, now what is Oscar bitching about? What, write one less citizen, but let's make our streets safe. You guys I don't even know what he's talking about.
I have no clue.
Let's see. They told her to leave, and the lady was trying to get away. I don't care who you are, just like these laws they were lived by. That's called the murder. That's fine. Look, and that's kind of why we were on here. No, I'm not judging this. I'm not jury. I'm not on here to even say who was right or wrong. It was just a discussion I wanted to have because I see this stuff happening more and more with just the nonsense that's being stoked by these politicians. This lady lost her life over it, the way I see it, because they had her fired up enough to go out there and try to do something about what these ICE agents were out there doing. And it's like, whose battle are you fighting? Like, why? What are you doing? It wasn't worth losing your life. That's not to say that the officer was justified in what he did, but it's not to say that he wasn't. I mean, it's really, there's a lot of investigations that's still going on. I mean, we can look at these videos and make some sort of judgment, but it's kind of like you said, when you're in a vehicle, that is a dangerous weapon. And when the officer of the law is standing there telling you to get out of your car or at least stop, you should probably try to comply. And we always say it even if it means, even if you feel like you're in the right, at least if you live another day, well, it was worth stopping. Like I don't know what some of these people, like what crossed her mind that I was just going to take off and leave and I was going to go home. It's the craziest thought process to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking, honestly. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like I said, a lot of it is brought on by these politics that are going on in this country right now. It's crazy, man. We see it on here. It don't take long before the comments start getting crazy, and it's all politically driven. You're just trained to hate people because they're not agreeing with your politics. And while we're sitting up here at each other's throats fighting for these people, they're in their ivory towers looking down on us and probably with a grin saying, look what we got them doing. Let's distract everybody. We're getting everything done that we want to get done while these idiots are out there fighting about immigration or whatever, and you see it nonstop, on and on and on.
Yeah, and I mean, you really see it like with Oscar, right? You haven't even taken a stance on whether it was a justified shoot or not.
None of
You're
us is
still a fucking Trump cum guzzling Nazi fucking racist. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, look at your boy in the comments, like you said. I had nowhere on this. How many minutes we've been live now? I don't know, maybe fucking 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Never once have we taken a stance. But as soon as somebody gets on here that just assumes you're associated with the right, there it comes. Boom. All of a sudden, like you said, you're just a MAGA Nazi, pedo supporter. And it's like, what does that have to do with anything? It's a question that we're asking in general. For one, you know, I'm curious to see what people think after watching the video. Do you think it was a justified shooting or was this murder? And how could it have been prevented? Myself, I believe just toning down the rhetoric, which would take these politicians shutting the fuck up, but that ain't going to happen. So then it comes down to you not taking this shit so serious when it comes to these politics, man, and fighting for these people that don't give a fuck. It's crazy. It's a crazy mindset to have, to sit out there and fight for people that would not piss on you if you were on fire. It's crazy, man. And they see, like I said, they see it coming at us. They would cut our fucking throats if they could get a hold of us all over some politics. It's crazy, man.
It is. It really is nuts. I've seen it so much just in the comments throughout however many episodes we've been on now, and it gets so crazy so fast over nothing.
No, really, over right. There's nothing. And look, I'm all down for a good, you know, discussion or even a little argument, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to this politics. I don't mind that. But to take it so serious that, for one, you celebrate when a life is lost, because I've seen that going on with this case. People online basically, oh, she got what she deserved. And it's like, look, that's taking it too far. Just like when they were celebrating Charlie Kirk and Ashley Babbitt and whatever, whoever else, throw a name out there that died over some political bullshit. One side is celebrating it, and that's disgusting. That's how much a big portion of the country has been played and brainwashed to believe that someone losing their life like that is good. Well, it was justified. You know, she deserved it because she was out there protesting what my side is going for. That's the craziest thought process in the world. But it's really going on is because day in and day out.
You're supposed to be out protesting. And as far as I'm concerned, like, I'll look at some of the protesters and be like, these fucking idiots. But we're in America and you have the right to stand out there and protest. And they're doing it the right way. They're not burning down cities. And you know what I mean? Like, we bitched about that for a while because at one point, the protests were burning down cities. These protests are not.
Yeah.
Fine with that. No problems. Protest.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, out there voicing your opinion and hold up your signs and even screaming at. Look, it's your right. You want to scream at these agents when they walk by, call them whatever names you want to call them, whatever. But when it comes down to where it starts turning into physical violence, it's not necessary. It doesn't solve anything at all. All it does is cause more harm than good. And it starts with, you know, demonizing, as I mentioned earlier, just law enforcement in general. And that's been going on for a while now in this country. And it doesn't make it safer whether you think they're pieces of shit or not. Demonizing them doesn't make it safer. It makes situations like this occur to where people feel like now they have to go after law enforcement.
Right.
Well, when they have guns, that's probably a bad decision.
Because
it doesn't matter who was wrong or right in this situation. The point is somebody died.
Win.
Yeah, you're not going to win. You're dead now. So what did you get out of that? And you see it. I mean, it just erodes the trust as far as when you keep demonizing these law enforcement agents, and you know it invites chaos. Is all it does. It just leads to more and more just needless deaths, and we saw it today.
I'll be surprised if you don't see more of it now. Like you said, it just leads to more and more chaos, and I'll be surprised if you don't see a little bit more of it in the coming days from people out protesting this. You know, now they're mad at law enforcement, period, and we'll see how it goes. I hope everybody calms down and just, you know.
Yeah. No, and look, that's that they may burn that bitch down again, and it may be what these leaders want. They let it happen before when all the BLM riots were going on. They loved that shit. They loved sitting back watching these cities get fucking destroyed, and not because they were behind whatever cause they were destroying it for. They just love to see the chaos. These politicians live for it because they know if we're at each other's necks, we ain't worried about them. It's the oldest trick in the book when it comes to politics. Keep them dummies busy, and they won't worry about what the fuck we're up here doing. It's simple. It's so simple to see, and it's going on day in and day out, and it works. People fall for it, hook, line, and sinker every time. You know, and this one here, you know, the comment here, it's not peaceful protesting. That's the problem. And it is a lot of times. I don't know about this one. I mean, from what I saw before this incident, they were just out there acting like idiots, screaming and, just being belligerent towards the officers, which, whatever, just don't touch them is the way I see it.
Yeah.
Now I wasn't there the whole protest. Maybe they were getting out of hand before this happened, but from what I saw, it was just a bunch of hollering and screaming and yelling and a bunch of white women out there pissed off like they always are.
And I was mainly talking about like the protests that have happened locally. Like, they have their marches through New Orleans and, even more of the local little protests. Like they all start, fairly calm, and they seem to end pretty calm. They kind of have their area on the sidewalk, they do their thing, and then they all go home. And that's the point. Everybody goes home.
Yeah. Well, this one wants to know if MAGA can define what they mean by peaceful. Very confusing since they justify cop tasing and storming nation's capital. They're still going with that. that was just the worst day in history. I seen every politician yesterday with they were doing candlelight vigils, on the anniversary of J6. I'm thinking, y'all got to it's over. Get it. It's done. Like, calm down. It wasn't that big of a fucking deal, really. But anyway, I don't know. They'd have to ask MAGA because we're not MAGA. I mean, we've said it numerous times, just on multiple episodes. I mean, did I vote for Trump? Of course. I mean, who else? Are you going to vote for the other side? Are you crazy? But that doesn't make us hardcore MAGA. So I don't know. You'd have to ask a MAGA what they mean by peaceful. What I mean is out there voicing your opinion, which is actually what Trump told them that day on January 6th. Go down there peacefully. Let them hear your voice that you're not happy with what's going on. And, of course, it led to whatever it led to. And apparently that, like I said, from what I gather, that's what was going on today with these protests. These people weren't out there destroying shit yet. It's just you had one knucklehead apparently that thought I don't know what the fuck she was doing. From what I was reading, she was blocking the road or something, and they were, I guess, telling her to move, and it turned into an argument. I don't know. Wasn't there. You could see her lesbian wife or whatever was filming it from the sidewalk, so it was almost like they were there to purposely rile some shit up, and it worked. I mean, it did work. It worked out in the worst way for this lady, and it's like, was it any of it worth it at all? It was fighting for these people. Not even a little bit. I mean, I'm not even wasting my time. I'm not leaving my house to fight for these fucking idiots over some cause that they trying to get me worked up over. It ain't happening.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. So I don't know why people get so, it's like they all need to be part of something. They just can't wait. They got to be part of something. So they feel like, oh, this is it. This is it. Everybody's riled up about immigration. Yeah. And then, well, now you're gone. I mean, it's just so dumb. But
yeah, like I guess since they were talking about J6 in the comments, I don't understand why everybody went to the Capitol because, I mean, I didn't give a shit enough to really know that it was going down at the Capitol.
Yeah.
But had I have known, I wouldn't even attempted to go. Like, I'm not going out there and rallying with you.
I wouldn't either. I think the only part that Trump had in there that may have been kind of, I guess his fault, like people like to say, is that he had people believing that if you scream loud enough about these results, that it can be changed. Because everybody believed Mike Pence had the power to change those results. So that's why people were so hell-bent going down there, because I think they were really convinced that if we make enough noise, then maybe we can overturn, these results, because they all believed the shit was stolen. That's, to me, you could probably push that blame on Trump. But as far as the ones that got out of hand and got violent, never once was it told by anybody besides the agents in the crowd that were egging it on. But never once did Trump actually say, hey, go down there and destroy shit, but you had another one. Like I said, there were people in that crowd, like that Ashley Babbitt girl. She decided to take it to the extreme because she was so fired up and hell-bent that this has to happen. This is what my side is saying. And then she catches one.
Motherfuckers got to be smarter, dude.
Bro, it's like
they
really
were
not
just
that
gonna
hard.
Overturn it,
Yeah, they were gonna go there and look. Well, enough of y'all came. All right, we'll go ahead and overturn this election that we stole. We'll go ahead and give it back.
Look at all these people. Like, wow, they really convinced us. Let's go ahead and overturn this. Like, come on, man.
No, and look, this one. Let me pull this comment up because I just saw it. Because it's true. Trump he screamed it from the mountaintops. And look, do I believe some shenanigans went on? I do. I don't think that was just a straight up election that year. Was it enough to steal it? I don't know. I wasn't behind closed doors, but you can't say that no fraud goes on with these elections. I mean, you'd be a fool to think that. But Trump did. He was screaming it from the moment he lost that it was stolen, it was stolen, it was stolen. But that means that you got to think better as a citizen. Like, why are you out there fighting for Trump, trying to destroy a Capitol? Like, what are you doing?
Was there ever a point in time that you thought that you and a group of people were going to convince the U.S. government to overturn it, regardless if the whole fucking thing was fraud?
Bro, and if anything, all you're going to do is get yourself killed. Because believe me, had that government really wanted to stop that shit that day, it would have stopped. They let that shit happen. I mean, they've had testimony from Capitol Police saying that they requested help and it was ignored for hours. And this is outside of what's been proven, how Pelosi turned down Trump's request to have National Guard there. So all the way around that stuff at that Capitol that day, they were denied help for a reason. They wanted this shit to get out of hand. You know what I mean? And if they really weren't expecting that and wanting that to happen, they could have ended that shit in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's the fucking U.S. government. You know how fast they could have stopped that shit? You think a few thousand people are going over there and taking over fucking the cat? Please. Get the fuck out of here, man. They wanted that shit to happen so bad. That's why they all got the fuck out of there. They knew what was going on. None of them were hurt. None of them were even in danger. And you watch in the morning, we're going to get up and there's going to be a fucking little information flag on this video about the truth to J6, but whatever. Point is, people just need to stop getting so worked up, man.
Yep. You get fired up and you see what happens. One lady died and the rest of them went to fucking jail. So,
yeah. And the only thing that I will say is Trump did pardon all of them. So at least he did say, well, y'all stood up for me. I'm going to take care of y'all. Right. But usually when it comes to these politics, you don't see that shit. You catch the repercussions of your actions because you're fighting for somebody. And then they're like, well, you know, who? Like, who was that? I never heard anything about it. And they move on with their lives and go on to the next bullshit scheme that they're trying to,
And imagine Trump doesn't win, the last election.
Political prisoners.
Still sitting in jail.
Yeah, political prisoners. They're still for trespassing. they're 20 years, Yeah, they were very fortunate, I will say. Now, I'm not going to say there wasn't some bad apples in there doing some shit they shouldn't have been doing, but there is no way then people deserve the type of sentences that were thrown at them. It was crazy, man. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. We can go on and on about that election and the J6 stuff. This one was more really just trying to get the point across that if anybody is so wrapped up in these politics, if you're listening, just stop getting so heated over this shit, because these people don't care. They don't care. They don't know you. You don't know them. They're not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. Both sides. You see it on both sides, man. These people will fight to the death over somebody they've never fucking met because they fall for the rhetoric. I guess that's how cults get started, though. I mean, somebody's got to be the cult leader, and they got to have dummies to join it. I mean, look what you see it all the time. Charlie Manson had his followers, and that Jim Jones. Over time, there's always some people that are just willing to follow, just lockstep, whatever this person says. It's biblical now, and people do that with politics, and they're all slimy pieces of shit. So I don't know how you could do that, but and I'll give it. Look, see how it's always one way. MAGA is a cult. Very true. I think there's some hardcore MAGA people that would probably drink Kool-Aid if Trump told them to. I do believe it, but it goes the other way too. This lady just sat out there and died for a liberal cause for nothing, and none of these politicians, they're going to get up there and give thoughts and prayers and maybe hold a vigil, but they don't care. It's over with and move on to the next thing. By tomorrow, the fucking news cycle will be changed.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's today? Wednesday. I give it till Saturday, and the only people that'll be bitching about it are going to be citizens in our fucking comments next Wednesday bitching about it.
That'll be the only ones. And I tell you who's really liking this right now is Tim Walz. You talk about deflection, like holy shit. This is the best thing he could have hoped for, is something major like this. because all eyes were looking at him for the past week or two. And now this shit happens, and it's kind of like, whew, okay, yeah, see, because now that's all he's doing now. He's on there. He's the greatest fucking governor ever, and he's going to get to the bottom of this. And now he's actually, I want to say he was talking about, bringing his enforcement in to keep these ICE agents out of here. Like he's just trying to go to war with the government now, basically. And it's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy, but now he's got a cause to jump behind, and it kind of takes all the heat off of him.
Yep.
So he's loving it right now. That's another one. He's just a politician. He don't give two shits about this young lady losing her life in his state. He don't care.
No.
I mean, why would he care? But apparently this girl thought that she was doing some kind of justice for them and fighting their war. It ain't no different than the military sending these boys and girls overseas, to fight their wars. There's people dying, and this is just basically on our own soil. I mean, you're fighting a war for these politicians, and you lost your life. So, what did he say? A masked man murdered her mother. Well, yeah, I don't doubt that, but probably in New York or something.
He's talking about the ICE agent.
Oh, so I don't know. Yeah, I thought he was talking about some other news. Yeah, God, man, that's a tough one, dude, because I can kind of see how people are looking at it, especially if you're already biased anyway, because you can look at this both ways, honestly. You could see that even to me, not being a leftist or liberal, whatever you want to call it, I can say I don't think she was trying to run the guy over. Mm-hmm. I think she was just trying to go. And he didn't want that. The problem was he was standing in front of the vehicle, and that turns it into a different story now, because that may be the only reason he gets away with what happened is because he was standing in front of the vehicle. And not to mention, I mean, Trump is president, so they probably nothing's going to come of it legally because he was out there doing what he was told to do by this administration. But so anyway, like I said, I could see the argument from both ways. That's why it's so hard to make a decision on this if I was judging it just by what we know so far. In my mind, like I said, I don't think she was trying to hit the guy, but she should have fucking stopped and not decided to take off when you have federal agents telling you to stop.
Yeah, and Darren he says he shot through the side of her car, and I mentioned that actually at the start of the live when we started talking about it, that I personally don't like the second two shots because he was already past the front of her car. She was past him, and he took two additional shots into the side of the car. So, we're kind of on the same page there with at least the second two shots.
No, and I appreciate Darren's comment because he's got good comments. So we do appreciate you, Darren, checking it out and giving us your 2 cents. Because now he's saying ICE has no authority over U.S. citizens. But if you're interfering in what they're doing, you can't tell me they don't have no authority. You cannot just interfere like apparently this lady was doing. I don't know the whole story yet. I don't think any of us do yet. But just a little bit I was reading, like I said, I think it was something to do with her blocking the road or something, and then I guess it escalated from there. I don't know. I may be butchering exactly what happened beforehand because, like I said, there's not enough information out yet. But I just find it hard to believe that you can interfere with what ICE is doing and they have no power at all. Right. I mean, everybody would interfere then. They would just stand in front of them and say, touch me, motherfucker, I dare you. So I don't believe that. I do believe they're not there to just arrest people for shoplifting. That's not what but as far as when they're out there doing what they're doing, go interfere and see if they have any authority. What are you reading? Read it out loud.
I'm just trying to make sense of all the comments.
Yeah. See, and this is they don't have the right to stop her because they're only there for right. And that's part of the problem. Like I said, we don't know the whole story. I don't know why they were stopping her. Does anybody know in the comments? And I don't mean from a liberal standpoint because you want to make your point and seem right. I'm asking, does anybody really know why they were trying to stop her? Because that makes a difference. It's if they were just there because they didn't like the way her hair color was and tried to stop her, of course. But if she was out there interfering with their job, they have all the right in the world to do what they got to do. Not meaning, end her life, but as far as approaching her and finding out what the fuck's going on. And then when they get to that point of approaching you and you try to take off, well, that's where the problem lies. what's he saying? She was literally blocking ICE agents from doing their job, so they went to pull her out of her car and detain her until the police got there. That's kind of what I saw, just the little bit I was able to read about it, is that she was blocking them and blocking the road, and they're not going to play that shit. They're there to do a job. You're in the fucking way. And again, she was only there because somebody had her fired up enough to believe that this was the right thing to do. And that somebody are these fucking politicians sitting up there egging this shit on day in and day out. And they hold so much of the blame when shit like this happens, and they get none of it. And to me, they hold more than that agent that ended her life, because she would not have been there had she not fallen for the bullshit that they push every day. Now, with that being said, got to be a little stronger minded. So I can't just put all that on the politicians. I mean, you have to think a little bit for yourself and find a fucking hobby besides getting worked up over politics so much that you want to go out there and fuck with federal agents. I mean, find something else to do. Do a fucking puzzle. I don't know. You know, if she was a lesbian, go scissor or something. Whatever. Just find something else to do besides fuck with law enforcement, because these politicians have you believing that they're the scum of the fucking earth. So anyway, Justin.
I like it.
well, good. But you still, I don't know. I haven't got, 100% out of you. I mean, do you think it was justified? And not because you're hardcore MAGA, like they like to say, but what did you, just looking at it and seeing what we see, I mean, you think there was any justification at all in him firing that pistol?
From the angle that I saw, I do believe it's going to be deemed justified, just because he was in front of the car and she started moving. Whether she was trying to get away or not, the vehicle was moving towards the ICE agent. And again, if you're in any sort of altercation with law enforcement and they're standing in front of your car for any reason and you lurch the car towards them, they're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
You're going to get shot.
Yeah,
again, I didn't like the second two shots, but
yeah, that was crazy.
One behind each other, so I don't think, if the first shot is deemed justified, I don't think he's going to have any issues with the second two shots.
Let me see what we can see. So he's trying to pull her out. There's one right in front. I mean, she's going right at him, dude. I don't know what to tell people. Like, I mean, I don't think she's purposely like saying, hey, I'm about to hit him, but I think he was in the path of that vehicle. So, I mean, I don't know what else. I guess he could have just got the fuck out the way. I mean, it's honestly just, hindsight. It's like he could have just fucking moved. It's kind of like, there was an old comedian that was like, he didn't understand how people got hit by trains accidentally. It's like, trains coming, just step out the way. Boom, you're safe. Seems like this is what this officer could have done. Now, we're all judging this sitting here on YouTube, not in the heat of the moment, but at the same time, they're supposed to be trained for situations like this and react appropriately. Was it appropriate? I don't know, man. It's so hard to say. I don't want to sit here and 100% justify it. It just seems like there were other outs that the officer could have taken, but at the same time, she put herself in that situation. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it just by watching this, man, you see that front end go right at him, and he quick draw McGraw now. I will say, he pulled that. He was ready. He's highly trained in firearm. Fucking, that was crazy. He pulled that bitch out quick, and yeah, but then like you said, the two extra shots, man. Afterwards, it just seems like overkill. No pun intended, but it just seems, it's a little bit. I don't know, man. This is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be interesting to watch how it plays out, and I don't think. I think just being who's in charge right now, I don't think Trump's gonna let anything happen to this guy. So I think he has that going for him for sure. Yeah, and like I said, he was out there on orders from the president, basically, or the president's, administration, to be out there doing what he was doing. I've already seen Trump come out and basically bash what the lady did, that she tried to run over one of our officers or whatever he was saying on Truth. He gets a little crazy on there. Trump goes ham. Like, he gets nuts on Truth Social,
He
but
does. I see some posts that I don't even think are real. And
I
then
know
they
that's what I'm always
are.
thinking. Like, it's got to be parodied, and I got to remember, oh no, it's Trump. There's nothing parody about it. It's Trump, and so he already came out speaking for the ICE officers, in his favor, which I don't expect nothing else. I mean, he sent them out there, so he's gonna have their back. That is one thing I got to say about Trump. He seems to be loyal like that, just like he did with the J6ers. Love him or hate him, it's like if you're loyal to him, he seems like he returns the favor. So I don't think he's going to let anything happen to this agent. Now, that doesn't mean it's 100% justified, but, that's for, I guess, in the court of public opinion, it's going to be about 50-50 split from what I see online, just scrolling X, I don't know. Don't get out of line, MAGA. What does that mean? Is that a threat? Is that what that means? What is this? Don't get out of line. It sounds like a threat.
You trying to have a civil war, buddy? Huh?
Anyway, 80-20. Matt says 80-20. What's 80? I mean, what's 20?
What size what, dog?
Yeah, because like I said, I was scrolling X when all this was going on today, and it I mean, it's just my algorithm, but it seemed almost split. It all depended on what political party you were affiliated with, on whether or not you think this is justified or not. Not many people look at it and say, okay, let me get the politics out of it. Let me just see what happened. And to me, as I've mentioned, I just think there's a lot of blame to go around, from the politicians to the law officer to the lady herself. I mean, I think everybody played a part in this tragedy, and it could have been prevented in so many ways. One easy way, just don't go there. I mean, it's really seems simple. There was a lot of people that chose not to be there that day, and they made a great decision, because for one, like I said, you're not changing anything. You're not stopping what ICE is out there doing. It just makes some people feel, virtuous, like I'm part of something I think is bad, so I'm part of the fight against it. Now I feel like I'm doing something with my life. People get wrapped up in that shit too,
Absolutely.
They all want to be part of something and feel like they're making some sort of change. And yeah, well, big change here. So, I shouldn't have guns. Oh Lord, did I see that comment? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I mean, you imagine them running around unarmed, the shit that they'd be going up against? Well, and I guess it all depends on how you look at it. Some people don't think ICE should even exist, that it shouldn't even be an agency. So I guess if you look at it like that.
It wouldn't if they were unarmed.
Exactly. That's the point. So I guess that depends on your political affiliation too, because if you believe that ICE serves a purpose, then the last thing you need is them running around the streets unarmed. Any type of law enforcement like that, or government. I don't think the government should just run around strong-arming everybody with weapons, but let's face it, man, the way that they're demonized nowadays, the last thing they need to do is be walking around unarmed because of these unhinged lunatics that get fired up by these politicians, man. It's nuts. I think that's a bad decision, but yeah, no, it couldn't have been my mom. My mom wouldn't have been involved in that shit. I seen that comment.
Yep,
couldn't have been my mom. And look, you may have just tuned in. We're not, no way, shape, or form justifying this, because you're right. I don't know if she was a mother. I think she was. I think she had children. She was a wife, a daughter, maybe a sister. So yeah, I mean, somebody's missing this lady tonight for sure. And that's why I think it's a huge tragedy, no matter what political affiliation she had. It's a tragedy, just like it was with Ashley Babbitt. No matter what the left wants to say, it was still a tragedy. Somebody lost their life doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. They had no business there because they were fighting a war for people that don't care about them. It's that simple. But, and you're getting a lot of that. Could have been your child. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. It wasn't. It wasn't. I get it. Could have been anybody. But I don't know. Like I said, not justifying it either way. Either way, I just think stay out of those situations. Stop fucking letting these people fire you up to get out there and take bullets. Stop it. Unless you're doing it for Trump, because Trump's going to have your back. He'll be in the hospital room with you if you make it through it.
Yep. He's going to come visit you at the house.
You laugh about that. Trump's a type, man. I know people hate that dude, but I tell you, he don't fuck around. Like the people that say, you know, when some kind of tragedy strikes, I mean, he'll get a phone call just out the blue. Like, you know, it's the president of the United States. You know, I want to give my condolences. I mean, I know he's painted as this just terrible, evil Nazi, but a lot of people that have interactions with him, they say it's really not what they try to get you to think. I mean, and I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's not egotistical and he's got his issues. Like, I mean, we all do, but I mean, he's just, it's crazy how they've painted this man, and anybody that votes for him or just agrees with anything, they've done a good job of demonizing that. And that's part of what causes this shit that we're seeing today, is the good job that they do of, you know, painting one side as just the worst people to ever walk the face of the earth. And it gives justification for lunatics to do crazy shit. And that's all it boils down to. I mean, because you're going to have crazy people in the world. Well, when they latch onto a belief, they're dangerous.
Very dangerous. You've seen it multiple times in the last 2 years.
It's a fucking, it's a religion with these people, man. It's a religion. Just like you see these people dying over their religion. That's what this politics is to a lot of people. And it's so crazy, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I get aggravated at shit a lot that I see when it comes to politics, but the last thing I'm going to do is get all fired up to get out on the streets and fight for these motherfuckers.
Fuck no.
Them. That ain't happening.
It's not worth the discomfort of not being at home.
Let's see if this is true by Civic Armor here. You only have to have the eyes and ears to see what Trump is all about. No one has to tell you he's an insane narcissist. I can kind of see the narcissist in Trump. I mean, he's super egotistical.
Yes,
I think that's part of why he gets things done. Whether you agree with it or not, he gets things done because the last thing he wants is somebody saying he didn't get something done that he said he was going to do. That's the ego in him. And for good or bad, I think it controls what he does a lot. And some of it's great. Some of it's great. It's like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop, the drug traffic, and I'm going to close the border. Well, if you agree with the border being shut down, he did a good fucking job. And he said he was going to do it. So the last thing he was going to do is not do it because it makes Trump look bad. And Trump is all about building that Trump brand. If you follow Trump or knew anything about him over the decades, just watching him and listening to him before everybody hated him, he was always about building that Trump brand, where Trump became a thing, not just a person. It's an entity, and he wanted everybody to know it. He wanted the best of the best, the shiniest of the shiny, everything. So he's ego driven, and I think a lot of times that actually helps him get shit done. I mean, they say he commands the fucking room. When you go into a room, whether it be these generals or these other, Congress people, he doesn't play second fiddle to anybody. And to me, that's kind of what a leader needs to have. It just needs to be directed in the right way, and sometimes Trump can do some goofy shit, but love or hate him, man, you got to say he's driven, dude. I mean, this motherfucker's almost 80 years old, almost 80, and don't stop. And don't stop.
He's steady on the move, old as shit. God damn.
I mean, imagine if you could get the majority of the country to understand that it's not as bad as what the other side says, and you had everybody on board, and he can actually get some things done for the country without all the opposition. My God, this dude he don't fucking quit. He's driven. He's very driven. He's not part of that bullshit system. Not saying he's perfect. I mean, Trump's got his issues. I mean, I'm sure he stepped on a few necks getting to where he's at. I don't think you become a billionaire without it. But I don't believe he's as bad as what they like to paint him to be. I don't think any of the politicians are on either side. They're always going to demonize the other side. I think it's all blown out of proportion. I don't think they're as good as they claim they are, and they're not as bad as the other side claims that, they are. So it's just knowing how to every now and then look at it from the middle of the road, which a lot of people can't do. And like I said, we see it here.
Yeah, no,
we see it in the comments
not many people that can.
No, dude, it's my side or fucking nothing. And I'm thinking, good God, dude. It's not your side. It's like the late, great George Carlin said, man, it's one big club and you ain't in it. That's politics. People think they are. Them motherfuckers think they are. They thought Hillary Clinton was their stepmama. She was going to take care of. She'd bring them to the promised land. That's what they believed. Kamala Harris, too. And then, look, It's like they said in the comments earlier, the MAGA, it's as bad a cult as any of them, because they do too. They believe Trump is, he's gonna, I don't know, turn this country back to how it was in the 50s or whatever the fuck his goal is. I don't know. Whatever he says, they're like, that's it. I know people in my personal life that Trump can do no wrong. No wrong.
Right.
Doesn't matter what he said, what he does. They cannot critique him at all with an open mind. And I'm like, come on, dude. Nobody's perfect. I mean, I don't care who you get behind politically. There's no such thing as a human being that is perfection. It doesn't exist. So we can look at everybody with a little bit of, well, let me see what's behind this. What's the narrative? What's going on? Where's the money trail? That's where a lot of this shit in politics leads to. It's always some pot of gold at the end of a lot of these trails that they start laying. And if it's just trying to get more people to wake up and see that, and maybe we can stop fighting with each other over politics. Trying to do a good thing. That's what we're here for. See, we're here for a good cause. Well, if you want to donate to our cause,
people how can we saying that you're defending Trump?
Yeah, yeah. Carlin would have destroyed Trump. I know you're not. You're probably too young. George Carlin was the shit, dude. But he was just anti-establishment altogether. You know what I mean? It was just, fuck these people. That's kind of where my attitude, I was young listening to him. And it was like, these people don't fucking care. He would say the same thing. This lady died fighting for some motherfuckers that didn't know she even existed. Didn't care that she existed. And you died for that. And that would be Carlin's take on it.
Well, according to Merzuno, by saying that, you're defending Trump somehow. That's what he was getting at, is how can you defend Trump and quote Carlin at the same time?
Well, I guess they mean that, Carlin would hate Trump and everything he stands for. And he may, right. I don't know, but I'm only defending Trump in the way of saying, like I said about any politician, I don't think he's as bad or as good as people say. I just think they're always somewhere in that middle. And that I don't think that Trump is outside of that box. I mean, he's still a human. I mean, he's not as bad as the left's going to say he is, and he's not as good as the MAGA cult's going to say he is. And it's just that simple, but I think that's everybody. I mean, there's people that hated Obama with a passion. I don't think he was that fucking – he's probably a decent human being. Just don't like his policies. They didn't like how he was changing the country, that people were used to. But I'm sure if you sat down and had a fucking drink with Obama, he's not a demon, So, right. But that's how they have Trump painted. Like you couldn't even sit down and have a conversation with this man, or you just feel fire's coming out of his fucking eyes. And I mean, it's like he's just a person. He's a person that you've been trained to hate, and you fell for it. So look in the mirror. You've been brainwashed. Wake up. We're here for that. I'm trying to wake y'all up. Damn it! I'm not trying to pick sides here. And then they want to argue with me. That's all they want to do.
I know.
Like a woman. It must be all women on here tonight. They just want to argue. Damn.
Fucking stoves must be broken.
What else we got? Let's see. There's no fucking comparison. It's a family show. Let's not use those words. There's no fucking comparison between Obama and Trump, because Trump is see what I'm talking about? This is kind of proving my point. That there is an ounce of good in Trump, according to these people. Yeah. Nothing good at all. And that is from them being told that over and over and over. They didn't give two fucks about Donald Trump until he decided to run for office. This man was idolized. He was loved by every major person that's out there hating him now. They wanted to all be in Trump's presence, and all of a sudden, he's fucking evil. And I get that from the politics standpoint. I get why they paint him as evil. They wanted him to lose. It's people like that who fall for it. That's the people that are out there protesting, risking their lives for these idiots, because, like I said, they don't see anything but what their side is telling them. So he's a sociopath. He's sadistic. How is he sadistic? That's a pretty heavy term. Just to tell me how he's sadistic. I mean, it's crazy the shit they throw out about anybody in general. I just sat there and take up for Obama. Last thing I did was vote for Obama. It wasn't going to happen. But I don't think he was an evil man. He just didn't align with the politics and what I thought needed to happen in the country. I didn't vote for him. I mean, it's that simple. I sat here and said, I don't think he was a bad guy. I mean, he seems like a great guy. He seems like a family man. I mean, he just wants to live his life like the rest of us. But Trump is sadistic. Obama's half white. I voted for that half. That was kidding.
He got half a vote.
Kidding. Let's see. No, because you are either stupid or willfully stupid. Probably both.
Yeah, I'm going to go with B. I like B.
Where's Johnny? I see Johnny. Where's Johnny at? Damn it. Matt, what's up, Matt? So there you go, talking about reality and facts. When you think men can magically become women, they cannot. That's a good point. You know, the leftists love to talk facts, and it's the same side that it just can't get past the whole two-sex thing. You know, it's weird. But hey, that's a whole nother show. We ain't going to get into that right now. But I love it. So let's see. Trump is literally, well, I did hear that anytime someone throws the word literally in it, you have to concede. So he's a sociopath and a criminal. He has made $5 billion since he became president. And let me guess, even if he did, do you believe he is the only politician to benefit when it comes to wealth by being a politician? Come on now. See, that's part of the problem. Well, that's exactly. And that's part of the problem when you can throw blame at someone like nobody else is doing this but Trump. Nobody is taking advantage of the position they're in life when it comes to these politicians. They're all doing it. All of them, dude. They're in there for 2 years and they're worth millions. All of a sudden, when they're making $170,000 a year, they come from damn near being in debt or whatever, or just, you know, a mediocre fucking job to being a congressperson. 170 grand a year, 2 years, they're worth $5 million. But it's Trump. And that's part of the problem where, like I said, you can't just pass blame around. It's got to be directed towards one person. And that's where they got you. They got you. You're hooked. You're hooked. If you believe that only one side or one person is the cause of what's going on in this country and just to corrupt it, they got you. There's no help. Sorry. You know, it's kind of like with the shit going on in Minnesota right now. If you believe that's just a Democratic situation, you're out your mind. That shit's going on everywhere with this fraud. There's people benefiting from it left and right, and it's probably a lot of Republicans too. It's just, to me, it's just politicians in general, you know?
Right. What up, Tim?
What's Timothy talking about?
Tim, money's the whole problem. Can't we all just get along? Money is huge fucking problem.
It really is, because money leads back, because it's not so much the problem with the citizens that are fighting, it's what the politicians are after. And in order to get that money, they have to stay in power. And in order to stay in power, they have to control what you think, so you will vote for them. And it keeps them in power. That's why they got these strongholds on a lot of these communities where the community's a shithole, but they just keep promising these people, you know, bullshit that they're never going to come through with, or they're giving them enough crumbs, you know, with the welfare system to keep them going. So you think they're doing something for you. Well, they run everybody off that has any kind of drive and any kind of goals or whatever, and they get the fuck out of town. I can't take this. They're overtaxing me. You know, the place is a shithole. Well, now you're just left with a bunch of people that are going to keep voting for you, and to me, that's their goal. That's what they want.
That's absolutely.
They don't give a fuck because they're not down there living in the slums with these people. You know what I mean? These people that are running Chicago, they're not living in the fucking projects with these people. People in San Francisco, fucking just blocks upon blocks upon blocks of just fucking just heroin and homelessness and just terrible situation going over there in San Francisco. Well, you don't see none of them fucking leaders living down there with them. You know what I mean? And that's just part of the problem, because they're only after money. It's just like Timothy said.
Tell you what you want to hear, and kind of whatever region they're trying to get voted into is they know the politics of the region, so they're
course
just
they
going to
do.
spew out whatever the fuck they can to make you go in there and click their name, and then they're going to sit back, smile, and they're going to laugh at everybody commenting on YouTube about political shit, because
Isn't that something?
it doesn't matter, because they're
And
sitting
that's
in their
I
fancy fucking mansion,
I know. I wish I could be a fly on the wall behind closed doors when they get done with those stupid congressional meetings or whatever they're doing when they're in there hollering at each other and shit, and acting like they're fighting for their side and their constituents and and then they end it. They fucking slap the gavel down. They fucking go in the back. And then what you think goes on then? You think they're back there fighting still?
No, they got it pulled up, and they're like, "Did you see how convincing that was right there? Did you see that? Look, oh man, that
High
face
fiving
was
each other.
great."
Yeah, high five. You heard what I called you, right? Oh, that was awesome, man. Yeah, oh, I loved your comeback, dude. That was amazing. I mean, it's all a fucking game to these people, man. It's all a game, and the worst part about it is citizens fall for it, and it's just nuts, dude. I look, I know politically, it used to lean a certain way hard. I mean, it wasn't like just hardcore right wing, these fucking, like some kind of neo-Nazi, but that's the side I thought, I was like, oh, that's the good side. And then you really start to see, it's like, wait a second, hey, motherfucker, ain't none of these people good. That's why I changed my voter registration. I'm independent. That's what I'm labeled as. I couldn't stand having that Republican behind my name anymore because I think they're all fucking slime. So I changed it because I used to be a registered Republican. Before I really knew anything about it, I just thought, well, that's the way I got to go. I mean, that's how my friends are going. I wasn't paying attention to politics years ago. And then you start paying attention, or at least you should start paying attention. And once you really do, it's like, oh, wait a second. Neither one of these motherfuckers don't care. They don't care. It's almost pointless voting. I mean, it's like I don't even get psyched up to vote anymore. It's like, for what? I mean, it's all it's just nonsense, man. This got shit that Trump swore he was going to do when he got in. I mean, I don't see anybody with any more money than they had before. I don't see the economy's just booming. I mean, there's a lot of things he fucked up on, And he still lost a lot of people. I heard people talking about today that Epstein shit, man. There's a lot of people jumped ship with the way he handled that. I mean, that was just a blatant fucking lie. I mean, Epstein files, we give them to you, and then they come out with this bullshit with these idiots on social media that they gave those binders to that had nothing in it. I mean, it didn't sit well with a lot of people, man, and I can see why. It pissed me off. That whole Department of Justice, man, they just all fucking lied to all of us over that Epstein stuff. So let me see this. I can see it barely. Let me pull it up. I want to see why somebody's telling me I'm independent. Bear with me here. You are independent because you would be able to see facts and think clearly and make a decision about each and every person, regardless of party, but you can't. No, I'm independent because I think they're all scum, and I don't want that label on me. I don't want to be labeled as a Democrat. I don't want to call myself a Republican. So the only way I can do it is call myself an independent, because then I can listen to what everybody says. And it's not to say I would never vote Democrat, but you got to put somebody up there better than fucking Hillary and Kamala. You got to stop playing these identity politics and saying we need a woman president. We need a black woman president. No, we need a fucking president that's going to get the job done and represent the people. I don't even think we've had one yet. But that's what you hope for every election cycle. And just because she's a black woman doesn't make her fit for the fucking job. No more than it made Hillary Clinton fit for the job because she was a woman. What the fuck does that have to do with it? So that's why I'm independent. What else should I register as if I can't stand the label of either one of them? I don't want to be affiliated with any of them. You know what I mean? I just don't, because I don't trust any of them. I think they're all dirty. Yep. But if you want to get into the voting and trying to make some kind of difference, well, the only power you have is to vote, and I don't think you have much of that. I think that's almost a fallacy. I think they have you believing you can make a chance, but I don't believe your vote matters as much as you want it to. But if you want to get involved at all, that's all you can do as a citizen. So therefore, I had to register as something. So boom, independent. Fuck these people. So I like this. Is what I like. I'm with this.
Just go
He
in there
votes
and
with his
swing it
wiener. I love
around.
it. You might as well. I mean, it's probably you might as well, because I don't, like I said, I don't even know how much your vote even counts, man. I think that's just something they keep going, that charade, and that, to make you think as a citizen that you can make the change, you can do it. Get out there and vote. Now, with that being said, they do fucking go hardcore with pressuring people to get out there and vote. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it does make a difference, because you see how they go at it. Like, they don't stop when it comes down to that voting shit, dude. They are, man, they are letting you know, get out there and vote. They start bussing people in. You can't drive there, we'll come get you.
Yeah.
You mail your ballots in. You don't have an ID, don't worry about it. You don't even need it over here.
I know. It
crazy.
sucks that it's like it even if the voting part is real and everything, it's like it doesn't matter. I feel like the news cycle starts, a year before the election takes place, and then they just start running just these emotion filled, news clips, and they're like, well, let's see who's on what side, da da da, and they run them and they see what kind of attention it gets. And then they're like, all right, look, these 5 topics got the most attention and the most feedback, and we're super polarizing. So that's what we're going to feed to the presidents to run on. And that's going to be y'all's issues for this election cycle. And
it
neither
starts
one
early.
of them give a fuck about either one of those, because it just came from the news, like,
yeah,
that's just how I feel.
And it starts early too, like you said, and that's part of the problem with the president. It's a 4-year job. It could turn into 8, but I'm saying initially it's a 4-year job. Well, damn near half of that job, you're campaigning.
Yeah,
you're concentrating on getting reelected, or getting the party. If you've did your 2 terms, you start concentrating on jumping behind a candidate that you need to continue this. So, I mean, half of your fucking job, you're still campaigning. You're not just able to do a job. I mean, it's a crazy way to run things, man. I mean, I don't know a better system, but it's crazy to think about it. It's a very short job. I mean, it could be 4 years and you're done. So you might have 2 of those years to get some stuff done, and then it's right back to the fucking election cycle or the midterms. Now it's about to be the midterms. That's all they're going to concentrate on. You're going to start seeing that ramping up big time. And that's all these politicians are going to be able to concentrate on for a little while, is just taking some seats back or not losing seats. And then after that, it's on to the presidential shit. You know what I mean? So it's just never ending.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all the politicians just kind of, they send their little henchmen to the news, and it's like, what do people care about right now? What do people care about? We need to know. Oh, okay, cool. And then they go back up there and they hop on TV and they're like, I feel so deeply about this issue right here, da da da, and it's just shit that they're being fed that they know the people care about, but they don't give a fuck they don't care. They don't want to change it. They act like they do, but nothing gets done. I know, ever.
I wish we had I wish I knew how it worked. Like, do they get in a room, or like, who decides the issue that we're going to go with? Because I'm with you. They figure out what's going to resonate the most, but how? And then how do they pass that message? Is it all just it's orchestrated that way, where they get together and say, hey, look, this is the issue that we see as the most polarizing right now. It's gay marriage. Yeah. Everybody get on that. Jump on the gay marriage. Let's push that. It's gotta, because they all seem to jump at the same time on a certain issue, and the media does the same thing. You can see the media switch like that. As soon as whatever side, when the Democrats start talking about a certain issue, the media runs with it, dude. Full speed ahead. It's like they're all in sync somehow.
I'm telling you, I feel like the media's first. I feel like they run these fucking bullshit sensational stories to see who gets fired up on what side and where we're at, where's the heat at, da-da-da, until they get a story that's just gets crazy feedback, and then they're like, all right, and then they send it up the chain, and they're like, hey, look, I'm this is what y'all need to run on, because it's a hot topic. Obviously, we don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, that's a good way that I guess to pull that off, is you just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks. So you throw a bunch of shit out there all over the social media stratosphere, and then you see which one's gaining that kind of traction, and say, oh, this is what people are really, this is what stokes some emotion right here. Let's go with that this cycle, because they'll change. they'll switch that shit. They'll run with it for a while, and if they start seeing that flame die down, it's what's next. Okay, well, what else is getting people worked up? And that's what they do. And you're going to start seeing that shit ramp up here big time now with these midterms. And then it's going to do it again right when the presidential election starts to come around. You're going to see it. And they're going to find their little topics to run with. They're going to do some polling. They're going to do some little research on social media. They're going to see what people are interested in and what they're fired up about. And that's what they're going with. It's a beautiful strategy, really.
That's what you see on the news. Like, you know, what if it was last election or the one before that? It was everything was about school shootings, school shootings, school shootings. That's all you saw on the news for 6 months was school shootings. And now you don't see them on the news. I promise you they're happening, you know.
Yeah.
People are getting shot. There's mass shootings. There's mass violence. But it doesn't matter to the politicians right now because nobody's got any, you know, they don't need to be elected right this second. So it's like, fuck it, you know. And
that's what I'm trying to see.
Like they run on these things, on these issues that never get fixed, but it's not like the next election comes up and they run on the same fucking issues of like, hey, I know they didn't get solved, but this is how we're going to do it. They just well, people don't care about this time. You know, they really aren't getting fired up about the same topic anymore.
I wonder what it's going to be this go around for these midterms. Like on both sides. If y'all out there, y'all listening in them comments, what do y'all think? What's going to be the Democrats' play when it comes to this is what we're going to run on to get people fired up to vote? And then what are the Republicans going to run on? You know, I mean, the Dems, as far as the presidential shit's been the last couple of years, it's been easy, just anti-Trump, everything anti-Trump. But this is the midterms, you know. So, and then the next time the presidential race comes up, it's going to have nothing to do with Trump besides whoever he's backing, but he can't physically be there. So, I don't know. I'm trying to see what topic they're throwing out there right now. I mean, they done burnt the race issue down to the ground. That's just over. People are so over that bullshit. You know, when you see somebody like Nick Fuentes thriving, it lets you know people are so over that shit, you know. Immigration is kind of a big one, but I don't think that drives the average voter.
I don't think you'll hear shit about immigration in the 2028 election cycle. I promise you. You won't hear a fucking word about it.
Yeah, I just don't see that. I don't think that drives people to the polls, you know. And I don't know. I don't know what they're going to go with now. I believe that too, like Christopher said. I mean, the left has been praying for something like this to happen for months. I think they love this shit, and I assume he's talking about the shooting that took place today. They love it just as much as they love when a school shooting happens. They jump all over it. And I don't want to go as far to say that they just love watching people pass away, but I just think they love the opportunities to drive a point they try to make home and be like, see, we told you these are bad people. Like ICE agents are bad. You know, we told y'all we didn't need that in the city. Same thing with the guns. Every time there's a mass shooting, see, we told you guns are dangerous, you know, and I think they capitalize on the situation. You know, I would hate to believe there's people that are actually out there that enjoy watching other people, you know, die or be harmed. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they got some evil ass politicians out there. I just think they like the opportunities that come up. They're like, well, fuck, we didn't do it. We didn't kill the person, but let's use it to our advantage. You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're fucking got some scum out there that are like, good, they need more kids to go, you know? I don't know. But they seem like they jump on it fast. I think
that's how they look at it. Just the same as like the lawyers. You know, there's some shark-ass lawyers out there right now trying to contact this lady's family, you know, because of the money. Not because they want to help, because they want to be good people, you know, and it's oh, shit, I can make some money off of this. Yeah. Hold up. What's their contact, you know? We gotta get on that.
True. Yeah, look, that's a good point he's making, man. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. And that's true because a lot of people do it. It's like, look, we don't mind. Let's make some stricter gun laws. It might protect somebody. And then you just start giving that up. And then the next thing you know, you're giving up something else. And you just got to be not willing to budge at all, man, because you know how it is. You give these idiots an inch and they're taking 10 miles from you, man. And that's kind of the meaning behind that. I mean, it's like you got to fight for that shit, man. Your freedom. I mean, once they start taking it and chipping away, You ain't got it. And that's when it comes to that big gun debate, the big arguments that every time there's a shooting or something, man, they want to start stripping rights away from people. And I mean, there's not many people that deny it's a tragedy when shit like that happens, when these mass shootings, but the answer to it isn't to just start stripping rights away from law-abiding citizens. I mean, it's just, to me, that doesn't solve the issue at all. And that's an argument that's going to go on and go on and go on, because some people think that we would be so much safer in this country if guns didn't exist, which is impossible. They're going to exist. But like they say, you start taking them away from people that don't break the law, who you think's going to have them, you know? It's very simple. That math equation is very simple. Criminals don't give a fuck about laws, so keep making gun laws and see who that affects. But I don't know. Either way, like you said, topic tonight, not good. No matter which way you spin that one, it's not good. Lady died over some nonsense. And I guess the whole point I was trying to portray tonight, which it got off the rails a little bit like it always does, is that I think these politicians are hold a lot of the blame when shit like this happens, man. And I'll stick to that. I mean, you can't put it all on them because they're just using these useful idiots, people that are just following blindly and getting fired up by words. But they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It's not like they're like, oh, fuck, we didn't know people took it that serious. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, they know. We did seize that Russian tanker today.
Let's get it, baby. Let's do it.
Apparently it was a Venezuelan tanker, no? With Russian flags being guided by Russian submarines.
Was that what it was? I didn't have time to even look up. I was so digging into this shit so much. But
yeah, Russia told us to basically leave it the fuck alone, so we sent helicopters and boarded it. And it was flying Russian flags, but we're saying that it was is a Venezuelan boat, basically that was renamed in Russian with Russian flags, and the Russian military's transporting it. So apparently we're just like poking each other right now.
I want 99 cents a gallon gas, so let's get all the oil.
Hey,
let's go around the world. Let's just get the fucking oil. We got the power to do it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. I want some cheap gas at least for a month. I mean, was that too much to ask for? I mean, when I first started driving, that shit was like 79 cents.
Yeah, we should just like pop off World War III and say, fuck it, we're coming for all the oil. Fuck y'all.
Cheap gas. I'm behind it. Nuke them all. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that Venezuela shit has a lot to do with that. And there's a lot of politicians that aren't even denying that. I mean, there's oil to be controlled over there. And why are we going to let other, our adversaries come in and do it? Fuck them. Stay out of our hemisphere with that bullshit, I mean, what are you going to do? Sit by and watch them take advantage of what's right there for you to, get the perks? I mean, I don't know. That's an argument, I guess, that a lot of people, it could go on forever because there's more to it than just that. I know it's not that cut and dry, but a lot of what's going on over there is the oil. I mean, it's the oil. We need to benefit from it. If anybody's going to benefit from it, it ain't going to be Russia and China. Fuck them. But RIP to the lady. That's what I'm saying. That is the sentiment for tonight. Like I said, we're not celebrating that at all, no matter what people think that just tune in thinking we're hardcore MAGA. Like we're just here celebrating the death of this young lady. Not true. But at the same time, you disgusting fucks can't celebrate what happened to that girl on J6 either, because that's what a lot of people did, man.
I'm trying to figure out who Barrett's mad at. Is he mad at us?
Where's Barrett? Let me see. Let's talk to Barrett. What's going on, buddy?
I feel like he's like yelling at us, but he's also kind of saying the same thing we've been saying for a while now.
Sure, it's not like Epstein is suddenly not being talked about, even though it's getting worse, as we will all find out, the non-transparency. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. You're not mad at us, are you, Baron? Nobody can be mad. How can be mad at us? They all love us.
I don't know. He's kind of been yelling in there. I didn't know if he was yelling at us or somebody else or what, but I'm like reading his comments of him yelling, and I'm like, well, yeah, I agree with that. I think you're on to the right track. So
Timothy said, I feel like Trump doesn't give a fuck, and it's awesome to watch. It always is. It's always that, that's why we love comedians that just cross the line, because everybody's got a little bit of that wish that was me in them. I wish I could say that. I mean, let's face it. When you get these comedians that aren't politically correct, that's why we love them. That's why everybody fell for Trump. He doesn't give a fuck. Why would he care? I mean, to him, it's like, I'm Donald Trump. Why the fuck would I care? Especially now. And he's like, well, they tried to take my fucking head off. Fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like he gets on Twitter or X or whatever, and he goes off the rails a lot on his little Truth Social. But that's part of what got his ass elected, was people being like, damn, this dude, all right, I can dig that. You know, I can kind of agree with what he's saying. It's a little harsh, but that's how we speak. I'm not saying everybody does, but I mean, the majority of the population, they talk a little worse in private than they do in public, and Trump's just out in the fucking open with it. Now, what a lot of people didn't like was the way he came at that Rob Reiner guy, the one that his son slit his throat, that Hollywood director or whatever. Yeah. And he was quick to get on there and start bashing the guy. And I'm like, ooh, like, yeah, it's probably good to leave dead people out of your arguments. It just doesn't look good. You know, no matter what side of the fence you're on. It's like once they're dead, unless they're just, you know, fucking Hitler or something. But as far as just a guy that politically didn't like you or whatever, it's kind of like, all right, that's a little below the belt, man. Just let it go. The kid, because the man still has family out there that has to see the president of the United fucking States talking shit about their loved one that they just lost in a horrific fucking way. And the first thing Trump can do, instead of just not doing anything, is start talking shit about the guy. So that comes back to where you just got to take the good with the bad, I guess, or you don't have a Donald Trump. You know, if you're so censored like most of the politicians, then you don't get any of it. The stuff that you do enjoy about Trump, you're not going to get that without some of the bullshit that comes along with them. And I think it's been an amazing show. I think it's been great. Just this whole Donald Trump thing, you know, it's just been amazing to watch. If you step back from afar and you just look at it and you watch how people react to it, whether it be good or bad, and just it's polarizing, dude. It's fucking amazing the attention this man has taken away from the world. Just everybody, just, you know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what they were able to do to this man, because he was always Donald Trump, but he wasn't like it is now. I mean, he is just a polarizing figure, and they did it. The media helped make him bigger than he needed to be. The more they hated on him, the more people started to love him. And I think that was a huge mistake on their part. You know what I mean? People were tired of the bullshit mainstream media. And once they started their shit, they were like, oh, well, fuck him. You know, fuck him now. We're all in for Trump. He's sitting there giving it to the establishment, telling these reporters how he feels, you know, not holding anything back. Like, yeah, we can get behind this. So I think they fucked up coming at him as hard as they did in the beginning. I really think they do. I think it made his base even stronger.
They came at him really hard, and they wrote him off really quick.
Yeah, well, that too. In the beginning, it was a joke. Yeah, Trump was a joke. Like, yeah, that's never. They literally would say that'll never happen. Trump will never be president. You had politicians saying that, and I think they believed it. I think until he won that night, I think they believed that there's no way this outsider's getting in. It's not going to happen. So don't even worry about it, Hillary. You got this. Yep. And my God, it shocked the fucking world when he won. And I believe the main ones that were shocked were all them higher up politicians that just knew there's no way an outsider will ever get in this circle. And he did it. He did it. And you still have people, they don't even respect that. I like the fact that they all fucking hated him. All of them. They hated Trump. None of the politicians wanted him in there. To me, that was great. That's the guy I was like, oh, fuck yeah. You know, if they're so afraid of him, why? And you saw why. As soon as Elon got in there and started fucking with Doge this go around, you see exactly why they were so afraid of Donald Trump. Man,
they didn't like that.
Finances were like, oh, fuck, man, we've been riding this little money train for a while now. And all of a sudden, this guy wants to come in and start fucking with it? No, we can't have that.
Yeah, no. Don't fuck with the money.
So, point being, anybody listening, whether you hate Trump, love Trump, whatever, you got to admit, it's been very fucking entertaining. We only got a little bit over 2 years left. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because this I can tell you, it's not the end of the fucking world that Trump is president. I know that's how the politicians want to paint it on the left. It's the end of the world, end of democracy, blah, 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 all the shit they've been saying for years that hasn't come true. It's not the end of the world, people. Calm down a little bit. Sit back. Enjoy the show. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch when you don't look at it from such a negative, just, every day. It's fucking funny. It's hilarious. It's like a fucking soap opera. And I think we're all going to miss it when he's gone. I think we're going to be back to these boring, every line rehearsed politicians. The ones that won't sit down for longer than 20 minutes and have a conversation with anybody because they don't want you to see the real them, you know, without these rehearsed fucking questions and answers. And I think you're going to miss the just the realism that Trump brings, man. His press conferences are the shit. I don't care if you like them or not. So that's my take on it. You don't have to agree. I don't care. Will somebody put grab by the pussy? Oh, yeah. He did do that. I mean, you can't even defend that, but, you know, guys are going to be guys, man. You know, guys are going to be guys.
Adubious is in the comments being pretty fucking intolerant if we're going to talk about it. He said Trump sucked on Bubba and no one seems to care. So I don't know why we should care if Trump was sucking a little dong.
Yeah, why is that bad?
We're
I thought that was,
yeah,
we're inclusive. Why would we care what Trump was doing with another man? You are such a bigot. God, get out of our chat, you bigot. I tell you. This is us, buddy. We are inclusive on this show.
You see it.
Get out of here. We don't care who Trump was sucking off. I don't care what they do in their private lives. But I have heard that dumb shit going around, though, because they call Bill Clinton Bubba. And I'm like, I don't even know where that started. Like Trump and Bill Clinton, like fucking blowjobs. Like,
hey.
It's so weird. Yes, that was very much. Yes, it was gay.
Plot twist, Trump was Monica.
Ain't no telling nowadays, bro. Anyway, what time is it, man? It's almost 10 o'clock. Y'all got us up late. I'm getting out of here, man. I'm going to drink or something.
Who's a vote thief?
Who, what?
Who's thieving votes? I don't know.
Wait.
Barrett's still angry.
Damn it, I missed it. Where's he at? Where's it at? I don't see the comment. Oh,
Oh.
okay. Fuck y'all vote thieves. What does that mean? Brother, you need a hug.
I don't know if he's mad at us or...
I can't figure him out. We the people don't care. The deep state secrets are exactly what MAGA voted them in to destroy. Promises destroyed. Yeah, he was supposed to drain the swamp, if that's what you're getting at. Didn't happen. I don't think he realized how powerful and deep that swamp was, man. I don't think anybody does. Yeah, well, he did drain Bubba, but he wasn't draining that swamp. I think that's every probably every president goes in there thinking that, I'm about to make some changes. And then they close that door and they're like, look, buddy, they give you a book. Here's the changes you're going to be allowed to make.
Yep.
Everything else, it's off limits. Believe me, I just don't think they realize how powerless they are as president of the United States. It's really just a label. I mean, that man has no fucking power. He writes some executive orders, but they're not law. They're done as soon as he gets out of office. And you're not king. I mean, as much as they like to claim that's what he's trying to do. I mean, he's not a king. He's not a dictator. I just don't think presidents have the power that people give them. I really don't. I just think it's ran by just a bigger organization than the president. There's so many people behind the scenes that are running shit. Big, powerful people, I don't even believe they tell the president everything that's going on, with the CIA and the FBI and just, why would you? Why would you tell a guy that could be gone in a few years all the top secrets of the fucking nation that's been secrets for decades? Why would you tell this guy that? I mean, don't make any sense. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll be president one day and I'll see. I'll find out for myself. I might run this next go-around. We'll see. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm out of here. If you hadn't subscribed yet, hit subscribe. We'll be back at it probably Friday talking some more shit, pissing off some more people, falling in love with others. Who knows? Who cares? It's fun and games. Stop taking politics so serious. That's the point of tonight. It got a young lady killed today. So y'all calm the fuck down. And other than that, y'all be good. Justin, tell them later.
Bye.